Loot.bet, made for live betting.
And welcome back, everybody, into our third and final map of the day. It is going to be, of course, ex-Epsilon versus Copenhagen Flames one last time, this time on Mirage. After the devastating defeat of ex-Epsilon on Nuke at a 16-5 final score with a 10-5 first, 14-1 first half ending. Copenhagen Flames now in a pretty good position, if you ask me, mentally. If you look at them, at their mental state, they have to be content with the way they won Nuke. Question is, are they ready for Mirage? Oh, TMB. Oh, this is a bit of a,
There we go.
Oh, getting a lot closer than it should have, but yeah. Copenhagen Flames, I gotta say, I feel like the momentum is on their side, sure, but it's about the mental state or the general preparedness into Mirage that is going to be the biggest show and tell of all.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is a map that, in general, both teams have had a relatively decent time on lately. Like, they were both on win streaks on this map. 4 maps for Copenhagen Flames in a row, and 6 maps in a row for the Epsilon ex-Epsilon lineup. And some of those results have had some pretty decent names in it as well. You know, Harvu, we mentioned, you know, a little bit earlier on when we came to talk about Copenhagen Flames and how they performed on Nuke. Obviously, that was a fantastic series for them. They also beat out Unique on that one at 16-14, which was a comeback result. But also on the ex-Epsilon side, they've had great results against Yapaleno, the Virtus Pro lineup that recently come down. The problem that, in terms of weighing up these two teams individually, the fact that not only have they got good results against good teams, they've also got close results against good teams.
Yeah.
And they are like down to the wire level of results. I mentioned those 16-14s a little bit earlier. Yeah, the series of Epsilon against Virtus Pro went 22-20. The only difference really is the win rate and the fact that the Copenhagen Flames guys are working off of some really bad results prior to their current win streak going into this one. So, you know, in terms of the win rate statistics, it does tell the idea that maybe this should be an ex-Epsilon's affair. But to be honest, it really could swing either way. I'm really not sure where to go, especially considering the recent results. I am going to lean slightly to ex-Epsilon just based off the fact of their slightly higher tier level of competition they've been playing against on this map. But we'll find out how well they'll do on the T side, as that's where they're going to start going straight into the beast execution, fast utility out of the apartments.
And it's going to be Epsilon alongside Basso to hold. This first frag to Basso goes in his favor, but it's still going to be Epsilon that has to hold the line moving forward. He's going to get nothing. NK takes him down. Basso, great connects. He's good for the secondary. Unfortunately, his teammates TMB gets one. Still far like refrags, though. And it's Surreal that pulls it into a 2v2. Nodius and Farlick, no kit on them. Let's see how this one turns. Copenhagen Flames currently in a bit of a dire moment scenario here. If they lose... Okay, never mind. I was meaning to say, if they lose Farlick there, that should be the end of the round effectively. But it's a 1-on-2. Surreal, the Brit, fighting for survival for ex-Epsilon. And I have to agree, I'm kind of leaning towards ex-Epsilon myself, just due to them, you know, having the names in their squad. Surreal, what a shot. Flyby, second as well. Oh! Raid boss in his hands. That is how you do it. 4K to click it off, and ex-Epsilon win the pistol. And just to kind of, I guess, cement what I guess we both were saying, ex-Epsilon, you know, as much as they've lost Nuke very badly, very poorly, I mean, the rest of the maps for them have always been kind of like a wild card. And Mirage, a map that both of these two sides know how to play, ex-Epsilon above all else, even if they might not be fully prepared for this, they certainly know their quality on this map. And Nodios, close range, ooh, I would have loved to have a double setup here. That certainly would have given them a fair chance to get a free frag, but yeah, ex-Epsilon, they're already on A site. A lot of damage by Farlig, though. Not exactly the worst of positions to be in.
Yeah. Two players very easily traded, one of which is the AK as well. Good shot from Farley to take out NK. That is a start. Nade can't follow through onto Surreal, though he's extremely low of his own right. Crucial get a pick back over towards the other side. Jump scout from Farley. Doesn't quite work out. TMB one good kill. Basta with another. The bomb's being dropped out in the open. Ex-Epsilon stalled. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Farley with Victor up against him here. Mac10 versus the scout. And he lands a beautiful drive by 3K from the mound of the CT side, and Copenhagen Flames will equalize against Ex-Epsilon very, very quickly in that one.
Damn, that force buy works out. Copenhagen Flames. That's why you have Farlig on the op or the scout, right? That's it. That's the core premise there. You let him be a bit of a free spirit and you have yourself a free round already. That's a force back by ex-Epsilon, of course. They have themselves the Deagles, the Tech 9 even. A little bit of utility. Actually not a bad amount. They can easily execute a site if they wish to. But if you want to really, you know, if you really want to nitpick the round previous, Copenhagen Flames, or specifically ex-Epsilon, they didn't punish Copenhagen Flames enough, right? They played a little bit too divisive. They let themselves be split up a little bit too much. TMB. Okay. Spellon and Victor, that's a bit of a slow response. It's a free round to CPH Flames, of course. There's no doubt there. This is Mirage we're talking about, right? This can go 11-4. This can go 12-3. This can go 14-1 effectively. And it still is a possible comeback for one or the other side. So, yeah. It's not like Nuke. Nuke, you know, you need to have a good ending on the half to win, or to at least have a chance of winning the map here. It's more momentum based, it's more mentally based.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'd say the Copenhagen Flames starting things off on the momentum side of things can certainly kick things up pretty decently here against the eco of the ex-Epsilon side. M4's in for 3 players. Still a FAMAS out for Farley, pretty decent. His part of things, he's actually going to get those 2 frags down towards the mid position. Nice and easy there, with TMB also coming up on towards the connector area. Again, anti-eco frags. Simple stuff coming in from the CT forces. A bit overly aggressive on the part of Copenhagen Flames in that last one. Still made it work. This time to just play passive, easy as that. Can't grab that second M4 though. I think they were kind of waiting for Epsilon to get into position. So do lose a little bit of investment, probably a bit more than they were really bargaining for. So all back for Epsilon regardless. SMG gets past off the pass site. But now they have to contend against the full-blown rifles of the ex-Epsilon side.
Well, this is where the real fun begins, by the way, Spellon. He got an air kill there. That's nice to see. A little bit of a slowdown. TMB, though, pushing top mid alongside Farlig. Let's see how this one works out. It's a dangerous maneuver to be pulling this early on, but certainly it can surprise ex-Epsilon well enough that it gives them the early advantage. Spellon. Oh, he's ready for the peek there. TMB gonna be caught. And I'm not sure why he goes dry peeking there. Farlig had the flash. He could have flashed lower, and then, you know, TMB could have gone for the peek. But look at ex-Epsilon. I'm loving what they're doing right now. They're not overly aggressive. And, oh, Farlig is dead. They are playing very well. They're playing a bit defensively. They're letting themselves be a bit slow, but with that, they're catching off free frags. Farlig, the second player to be caught pushing, and Epsilon. Ooh, well. Epsilon, a little bit too eager to get a few free frags. Ex-Epsilon should be 2 rounds to them regardless. Yeah, and just might be 2 clean rounds above all else. That's the scary part. And I think, oh, okay, Nodios, he's going to be able to return that at least. No clean rounds for ex-Epsilon, but hot damn. This is a very effective victory for them.
Yeah, picked apart on the Copenhagen Flames side. And you mentioned how, you know, you liked how ex-Epsilon weren't going too aggressive. Meanwhile, Copenhagen Flames, the very opposite could be said, and they paid the price for it.
Yep.
Round the apartments, got fragged out on towards the balcony over in the apartments area. The peeking from the short position, quickly dealing with that AWP. The B site overwhelmed. And the rest of Copenhagen Flames all falling down pretty easily to the hands of the ex-Epsilon side, and they didn't want to go too aggressive. You know, they decided to stay behind the smokes over at the top mid position, and that breaks the Copenhagen Flames economy as well. They know that they lost quite a little bit in those last couple rounds, so back here on the buy, they only get 3 rifles out and very little utility compared to what ex-Epsilon have to work with straight up towards that mid position. It's crucial with AWP straight in and TMB straight back out. Looking for the second man outside here. Farley, close range position. A WP from Crucial gets up on the boost and deals with him, so 2-for-1 trade, ex-Epsilon, man advantage gained. And again, looking like a very confident take of the mid position and a very confident take so far of the round.
Very true. That push by Crucial, or that maneuver by Crucial, it's such a dangerous thing to be pulling off. Luckily, you know, he has his teammates to back up on, so he can be very safe in that regard. Victor gonna clear off the flank, and yeah, I think, yeah, Crucial is aware Basso's there. Takes the shot, Basso, nice bait and switch. Unfortunately, Crucial is just a little bit too good for you, Basso, at least in this kind of manner. 4 frags to him. Tied up 3-3. And we have ourselves a pretty good start to Mirage. I think we talked about this, well, we certainly mentioned it, you know, how this map will go, or at least how it could potentially go. It's either going to be a complete rundown and a complete destruction of one or the other side. Or it's going to be close. It's going to be, you know, this close battle, this center field battle. Ooh, okay, this is a bit of a difference, though. They will be grabbing themselves the bomb control and an AK perhaps to work with.
Well, NK try and deal the damage, try and take some amount of control back towards that top mid area. Crucial taking even more damage with the eco pistols. Spellen wants up them back out of position, but this dead. Aggression. Oh, that's brilliant. That is actually brilliant from Copenhagen Flames.
What?
And Nodios will get one final frag on the way back out with the AK, burning himself alive. I cannot believe they made that work. Straight down the mid position, Victor and Surreal.
That's a full eco.
That was a full eco indeed. That is tragic for ex-Epsilon, and rightfully they will take a tactical timeout for that, because they should not have lost that. Copenhagen Flames had no right getting even the frags up towards top mid, let alone the round up towards top mid.
This is what we talked about previously before we started this third map, right? The smaller mistakes, the smaller tactical mistakes you make as a team that we casters call out, and then there's something like this. This is a big call. This is a big mistake. This is not just a big mistake. This is a big F up. Ex-Epsilon, I mean, even if you don't read into the economy of Copenhagen Flames, if we were to see how the rounds were progressing, I believe this would be now the 3rd round victory in a row for ex-Epsilon if they were to pick it up. And instead, Copenhagen Flames, you know, full eco, they win. And this is where ex-Epsilon should have been aware. Okay, they're going to be either having a very bad buy with maybe, you know, a few SMGs, with maybe a Deagle, Scout, something of the like, or it's going to be a full eco and a commitment to one or the other side, maybe mid, whatever. And ex-Epsilon, their response was poor, to say the least. They wanted to go mid control, which is all fine and dandy. But when you go up against a full eco, utility is the one thing that will bring the biggest difference of all. Use utility, and you are pretty much safe and sound to win the round. In any case, it's the full buy, double up, Farley, Ex-Epsilon. This is where the dangerous territory begins to expand for ex-Epsilon. If they do not get the first entry and are denied the early pick overall, they might be in deep trouble. And Farley, he's already aware. There's the 1. And ex-Epsilon, where's the response? Where's the push? Where's the anything? As soon as they lose this first guys, they should be pouncing on towards side. They should be pouncing into action. Instead, they slow down, and it might not be a bad choice, but the clock is against them here.
Well, 1:10 to play with those. There's still a little bit of breathing room for the ex-Epsilon side. They do get a pick back on Nodios, but AWP in from Farley cannot get quicker to the trigger finger, so he gets traded. A site under full T side control. Got one player towards ramp. TMB could do some damage from this position, but he's been marked off by Victor, so second player also going to make his way up, so even if they get down, it should be an easy trade in the Victor. Indeed it is. Nice and simple stuff there from the ex-Epsilon side. And 2 more CTs coming in from CT spawn and via the jungle area. Nice gap found by ex-Epsilon. Deals with Surreal, but now got 2 more to find. They're running out of time this time, Copenhagen Flames. Crucial. Orb still watching out from jungle. Smoke onto the bomb. Another smoke back towards Connector. Might be an open chance, but Crucial completely blind. Takes out Basso. Quick scope back from Epsilon. He's got to stick the 4-5 seconds at this stage. He's not got enough time. The spray from Victor. Does it connect though? Oh my god, is he going to get it? He is!
Oh.
I can't believe that. Epsilon with the 3K at the end of it. And he gets the 5th for Copenhagen Flames, a much-needed, very crucial clutch.
Whew. It is going to be... yeah, I mean... That's crazy. Epsilon, to be able to pull it off like that, to be able to save it like that, that is just out of this world. And it's going to be 2 SGs, an AK, a Mech 10, and a Deagle on the side of ex-Epsilon. And whatever they can do, they need to do. In this case, mid control again going to be exerted. They have limited amount of utility though, so they have to be very careful what the hell they do next. You know, again, boost we see here into window. TMB is ready. He's got a rifle against a Deagle. You should not be challenging this. And Spellon, of course, smarter than the majority of the players in CS in general. He's a great player, by the way. I love Spellon. He doesn't want to die for free. He knows that the rifles can make a change. He knows that the Mach 10 can even make a change. And as long as he's alive with that Deagle to try and at least divert the attention to himself a little bit, it's good. But TMB, holy hell, TMB, what? How does he get away with all 3 frags? There's 2 rifles and a Mach 10 watching him. And I'm like, you know what? Spellon can rely on that Mach 10. Spellon can rely on those rifles. And bam. All of a sudden, it's all for nothing. All for naught. And Spellon, he gets 1, fair enough. Ooh, Victor. 10 HP, still alive. But a 1 on 2. And time is ticking.
What make it happen against Farling USP? Enough to deal the damage. TMB, a fantastic round from him. Spray in from 3 players. The timing was awful from ex-Epsilon for this one. Even on getting on the 4th hit, will spell on over on that jungle position. Nice and easy there. And again, so much work done by him for Copenhagen Flames. They do lose 3 players, which is the main concern, I think, for the Flames side. Ex-Epsilon. Nades in, trying to see if they can get the half by going here with the nade stack towards snipers. There's no one's going to contest that this time for the CT side, so... Farleague shutting out Surreal, nades to respond. He's still got a little bit of control towards short. He will let 1 T-side play across. Basso, meanwhile, stacking up to try and deal with the rest of the players. They are getting dismantled by the sheer firepower of the CT forces, as you would expect out of an eco. TMB getting a little bit of palsy on the aggression. Does end up flying out a connector. Does get traded back with the 1 kill that he finds, but Crucial now with an SMG in his hand. 1 versus 3. Might be able to get a kill. If he does, then this will again be another great half by round for the ex-Epsilon side, but the chances of him winning are extremely slim, and Farleague will spot him. Flicked back, 2K for him. 7th on the board for the Flames.
Oh man, what a start to the map. You know, we effectively, I just said, you know, at 3-3, I was, you know, we have a good game on our hands. We have a good map on our hands, potentially a pretty close map where both teams will be fighting left and right, and you know, we'll be seeing a lot of clutches and a lot of close moments. Instead, I mean, there are a few clutches, there were a few good moments, but unfortunately, ex-Epsilon still feels like they have yet to move out of their nuke mentality, although it's already looking better than nuke itself, sure, but still, this is turning out to be a pretty one-sided affair for the moment. Good refrags coming out from Nodios, unfortunately still a man down though. And ex-Epsilon finally, for the first time within the last few, that they have themselves a bit of a distinct advantage they can work with. B control has been lost though, NK's already down sight, and this should give enough information to the rest of his teammates that B is empty, that B is accessible. And we already see the bomb moving slowly but surely towards the site. Of course, they need to be careful of the flank from lower. That's something you can never forget about. But I'm kind of wondering from CPH Flames, you know, they went for mid control again. This is like the 2nd, 3rd time they tried it. And, you know, 3rd time's the charm, I guess, for ex-Epsilon as they grab themselves those 2 early entries. It's a surprising idea here that CPH continue to try this mid-presence, hard push, hard focus on it, instead of just going for perhaps a bit of a more defaulty kind of mid-play, having 1 in window, 1 on short, and 1 in connector, from which point you can focus on, you know, both sides effectively, as well as having mid-control if you really want it. 7-4 though, ex-Epsilon they will grab themselves at least somewhat of a resurgence.
Yeah, nice round as well to break the economy and break the backs of the Copenhagen Flames. They need to hold on to this AWP and AK. They got Nodius and Farleak who can invest. TMB probably going to have to get dropped an SMG. And yeah, City going to pass that off to his teammate immediately, getting that one out. So they will be able to afford another buy here, Copenhagen Flames, but they will be down to nothing as a result of the damage being done on the ex-Epsilon side. Again, the half bite to keep them limited, the full gun round to take the round. And again, the straw that breaks the camel's back for the Flames side. And again, they contest mid. They haven't been all great at this one so far in this map. A little bit of short control, 2 players up a connector, flashbang over against Crucial. Will force him back away, but the smokes will give him more than enough cover to continue to burst through and try and get a blind shot on a CT. Nothing will come through from him. Surreal, damage to 16 points of health meanwhile. So nice start here for the Flame side. No kills just yet. Spread out across the defaults again, ex-Epsilon not getting too aggressive. Not going to give these frags over to Copenhagen Flames. Will instead just hunt the CT players over in their half of the map and just wait and bait. They slowly take the map control, slowly start to set up potentially what seems to be a B split. The bombs over on short, 2 players in apartment certainly could work. We've got to run through 2 though. There have been some pretty decent players over on that side of the map. It's Epsilon and Basso.
And unfortunately, they're the only ones. So as long as they're able to keep the defense up, things will look up. And right now, Epsilon only the one. That's not enough. Crucial. A great opener. That should signal the rest of Copenhagen Flames to go for the save, really. There's no other choice but to save. Ooh, Spellon again missing the timing there. And Farley's going to catch on to him. That's going to complicate matters. And I'm not sure if TMB and Nodius might want to attempt this retake. Certainly, Farley is a little bit far away, but he's still going to go for it. Yeah, they're going to tie this out. TMB jumps out, tries to spot the information. Nodius, not a single point of damage. Back to 2v2, 15 seconds, give or take. Yeah. In the end, realized they are a bit too far. And before they could clear the site, they would have run out of time. Victor and Crucial, last two men surviving, securing the victory. 7-5, and ex-Epsilon are not done yet. And I'm happy to see them bring about a bit of a different storyline for themselves instead of being completely devastated as on Nuke. This is turning out to be a bit more interesting, if nothing else. And we have the economy break as well here for Copenhagen Flames. They'll be forced to play either with a full commitment, having just a few pistols and a few SMGs, or a full eco. And it is going to be an eco. A smarter choice in the case here. And let's hope to see a bit of a pick-em-up style, where they try to play with the op, try to pick up the dropped weapons if their teammates die. Oh, Farley, yeah, he's gone. Okay, both rifles die within a split few seconds. I didn't think that's gonna happen, but bit of a wasteful usage of the saved weapons, if you ask me.
Yeah, this is just... It's frustrating to watch for the Flames. Nice shot from Spellon, of course, with the smoke. So frustrating to watch from the Flames, just because, like, you know, it's the worst outcome in this kind of an eco. You know, you're kind of relying on those 2 weapons to be able to do most of the heavy lifting for the CT side. But in this case, they're the first 2 down. Everybody else falls out of control with it. 3K for Spellon. And I don't think the Copenhagen Flames are utilizing their resources properly. You know, there was one particular, you know, in that last sort of engagement over towards the apartments where TMB rushed in with the SMG and Nodios was there behind him. They had a flash on TMB. If it was possible, he possibly could have gone for a pop flash in towards that position and allowed Nodios to get the kill. They probably could have had a man advantage and gone with the retake off the back of that. But because they didn't pay attention to their utility, just rushed straight in, trying to take the 1v1 duels blind. You know, they're not getting the advantages that might turn things over to the CT forces. So, ex-Epsilon happy to exploit that, happy just to, you know, force the issue. And just go for the engagements with the executions. It looks like it will be a B execution this time with the utility being set up. Victor to flash out towards the bomb site. Tagged up by the first man out towards the bomb site itself. One player also spotted. The spray is good for Victor though. Deals with Epsilon. Basso also goes falling. And the same story repeats itself for Copenhagen Flames. 5 versus 3. They might already throw in the towel and save for the final round.
Yeah, best case scenario, they keep all 3 rifles alive. They're able to rebuy the next, and they're able to contend the next. But it is going to be the last one. So in this case, I mean, can they stave off ex-Epsilon's 8 point, or will they themselves be able to grab the 1 round difference to the end of the half itself? In either case, This is as close as it gets in this best of 3 series so far. Map 1 ended 5-10 on the half. Map 2 ended 14-1. I guess it's only true or only right to have this one go into 7-8. Whew. TMB gets away with one more frag. So there's that. You know, at least a bit of a cherry on top of this loss makes it a little bit easier to go through and through. It's not really going to help them much, though, is it? They can't even afford... Oh boy, they can't even afford to buy 2 rifles. Or, excuse me, 2 M4s. That's a bit shameful. You know, it doesn't really give them the best fighting chance, but it is going to be 2 FAMASs to work with. Let's see how this one turns around. Again, TMB going for mid control through short. Farlig in connector. And ex-Epsilon, they'll be challenging this. TMB misses his first shot, though he peeks. She should not be going for the second time into that. Lucky to still be remaining alive. And Copenhagen Flames, I think they've learned a lesson, right, from mid control. They are no longer fighting it.
Absolutely. They... just going to leave it to the ex-Epsilon side rather than try and push in. Just lose all those frags. And hold the bomb site defensive, which again also hasn't been looking confident, especially on that B site. Basso and Asilian still playing their same positions. Incendiary's down. Basso getting a good couple of tags. Dink onto Crucial in particular. And Asilian there with a second from that. 2 players spotted. Lines it up on both. Drops that bomb with Basso coming in on towards Surreal. And finally, things look confident for the CT forces. It's all left to Spellon. Lurking on the A bomb site. This round is over. This half is done. Copenhagen Flames will be able to steal that last. The 8-7 on the CT board. They will have to take a little bit of a timeout in that halftime, I want to say, Copenhagen Flames, because towards the end of it, it did feel like they were just losing control, essentially. You know, ex-Epsilon were able to really spiral a good T-side out of control, especially after the confident start for the Flame squad. So, you know, taking a moment in the halftime, try and reset yourselves and think about where you're going to go from here, because this was starting out to be a very good, confident map for Copenhagen Flames, and it's turned to probably the most even one we've had all day so far.
Yeah, really, it's been the best map we've had so far. And as you said, it seemed like for a second there, or for a moment there, ex-Epsilon was able to reel in quite a few rounds in a row and almost made it now impossible for Copenhagen Flames to get up to 8. But we'll be seeing the second pistol in a matter of moments. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
Welcome back, second pistol, and Jay, I have to say, this is where things get interesting, don't they? Copenhagen Flames, it's time to shine, it's time to prove their worth, it's time to prove their quality, and same goes for ex-Epsilon. Now on the CT side, effectively their better side. Let's see what they set up for this first pistol round. Ooh, I'm already seeing this as a big problem, though.
Yeah. Looking like they're going to play retake on this B site for ex-Epsilon, which will allow the bomb plant for Copenhagen Flames. See how many kills Victor can get on the way in over at that window area of Market. For the most part, it's looking like Copenhagen Flames should be able to secure this one. I think they can set up the 5v5 retake. That's the most ideal situation for them. Again, it all comes up to how many frags Victor gets on the way in, and Copenhagen Flames tentatively waiting for the utility to come in from a city. They've got a smoke and a flash to be using. I imagine the flash will go over. As first phase finally established, Victor now spotted. They should get a good read on what's going on here. The flashes should come out, the smoke should go on towards that window area in a moment. Just waiting for a city to put that one down, and yeah, here it comes. Finally on for the flashbangs, and they make their way out over to the bomb site. No one else is here. The plant should be secured and backup will arrive, so it is going to be a retake mode. With the defuse kit, they are facing up. They almost denied it on Crucial's part, but him and Surreal will get punished with a backstab coming in from Basso over towards mid. He gets himself a double. Victor looking on for 2 good headshots though, firing and TMB down. 3v2 scenario, Copenhagen Flames still hold the advantage, but look at how far pushed up Spellin is on towards the bomb site. He looks on towards Shaw, but gets caught off guard towards the apartments. Now Victor with a third and a 4th headshot. Victor, surely you wouldn't do this. He's got 17 seconds, a little bit of time to work with. And I think ex-Epsilon knows. He waits back over at the window, and Victor just can't force the issue. He picks up that defuse kit. Smoke on the bomb site. Gonna stick the full 5 seconds. Victor gonna clutch it. Ex-Epsilon's gonna get close. He's gonna get it. Another ninja for ex-Epsilon. I can't believe that Victor gets away with the ace. What a pistol from him.
Holy shit, that is amazing. What a performance. Ex-Epsilon, they get away with one of the sickest retakes we've seen in a long time. Victor in a 1-on-3 for the ace clutch in the end to pull it off and smoke defuse. OMG, that is crazy. And look at that, Copenhagen Flames immediate buy-up. DSG, DAKs, the 2 pistols, that's it. No surprise there. And of course, I mean, ex-Epsilon, if they don't solidify their presence early on here in this pistol, or excuse me, in this CT side, I don't know how the hell they can justify winning that afterwards. I mean, that is just, wow, just crazy, 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 crazy times. Ex-Epsilon, the 3rd time we've seen a smoke defuse in this series. 2 times on Nuke, and the once just there by Victor. Damn. Well, 8-8, and a bit of a calm before the storm, you can say. Certainly, this round favors Copenhagen Flames in my mind, by the way. Like, only a single M4 against the 3 rifles of Copenhagen Flames. Certainly an advantage to be had. Ouch.
Holding on the defense for the moment here. A couple of trades for ex-Epsilon, but in the end they get overwhelmed by the force buy. Slowly but surely for Copenhagen Flames. Spellin, last man standing, trying to take down Farlig. You will be able to get him, but in the end the rifles do most of the damage there for the Flame side. Nice and simple and clean and easy for the Flame side. So a bit of a full start there with the pistol, but they have managed to get themselves back into this one here.
Yeah, indeed. Like I said, you know, the advantage was to Copenhagen Flames. Even after losing the pistol, they had a better buy than what ex-Epsilon was able to offer, which is, you know, it's a bit of a shame, really. Ex-Epsilon, that they're unable to cascade it into at least 2 or 3 rounds early on here, given that the clutch came at a high price. But they go for a force back. Scout on Spellin. We have them, well, we have a few Kevlars, a few Deagles to work with there as well. And look at the difference for Copenhagen Flames right now, right? We can see that they know what they're up against. We can see that they are very much aware of the dangers of playing against pistols and force buys. They do not wish to commit fully to anything. They just take mid control slowly but surely. They make sure they have some semblance of map control with it. And now they're going to gather up and actually execute a site or a position. In either case, it's a bit of a split A by the looks of it through connector. Should work if all things go to plan. But then again, we can't really disregard the Deagles one too many times. We've seen them already win.
Yeah, many times over the course of this one, ex-Epsilon pulled one out from underneath the noses of Copenhagen Flames. So can be said for the Flames against ex-Epsilon. They play carefully as a result, 40 seconds to the clock, and now they go for the hit. Nodios with the opening frag. On Surreal, should be able to deal with him. 2 more CTs to work with against here, and Spellin goes falling. It's all now on Crucial over in the Palace. As Victor rotates, Farley takes him down. Crucial, Molotov down to Palace, so that way he cannot go for the denial. He does get Batter in the end, and a second headshot. Hold the phone. Still a chance available. He's got to go for the ace, and Nodios will just come up and backstab him over from the ramp position. So a couple of good kills from Crucial. But in the end, that retake is off for the ex-Epsilon side. And Copenhagen Flames will be the first team to get the double digits on this T side. Line the force buy as well for the CT. Should force them back to basic pistols and not much more than that. Yeah. USPs, and that is all she wrote, I believe, for this round.
Pretty much. Should be a quick and easy ending and a quick and easy advantage. CPH Flames having a good start. Now, One thing I guess we haven't really touched upon is the fact that this is the 2-0 result match. Basically, the two teams that won, or the teams that won both of their initial best of threes. So even if one or the other lose, which obviously one will, it's not a big loss. They still have a chance to progress the next best of three and the round, well, the series afterwards. But then, you know, they can get eliminated later down the line. But it's a bit of a saving grace, I guess. You know, you can play a little bit more relaxed in this kind of position. You can afford yourself to make a few more mistakes. Even if you lose the series, you still have a few chances to keep on going in this fourth season of Loot.bet League. And overall, I gotta say, I think that also has a bit of an effect on both sides. You know, maybe being a bit more relaxed, allowing more freedom than you would otherwise see from the players. And maybe for Copenhagen Flames, not as much, but I definitely see that for ex-Epsilon. You know, they're feeling a little bit less pressure, and it allows them to play a bit more cowboy style-like, you know, a little bit more Indian style-like. And, well, 11-8. The first real gun round is coming up. Crucial will have the AWP. The rest, obviously, equipped with rifles and utility. And it's time to shine. It's time to see how this one will turn. Because they lose this, and, you know, we talk about the magical line, the magical barrier. Well, this is it. They lose this, and it's most likely 13 to potential 14-8 result. And ex-Epsilon finding themselves in that crevasse, or in that kind of hole, economical hole, where they have a buy, they have an eco, they have a buy, they have an eco. And, you know, after a few rounds, they will be able to buy a few in consecutively, but they certainly need to get this under wraps and soon.
Rifles from ex-Epsilon to try and deny it at the stage. That same sort of mid-present style from Copenhagen Flames that ex-Epsilon showed off on their T side. A bit more spread out from the T defaults, though. Looking for 1v1 engagements, very little trade potential from the Flames boys, but have a lot of map control as a result of it. And again, they're going to play carefully around what ex-Epsilon are doing. They know that the rifles are out, and they know that they could lose control of this match so easily if they let this round go. What a spot from TMB. He can't get Spelling down, though. Damage being done to the lone CT. He gets himself out of dodge. Surreal, meanwhile, challenging onto Basso. Not expecting the man there, so the utility is out. The bomb's been dropped. That's not only a man advantage, but a mountain of information gained for the CT forces. With 50 seconds on the clock, Copenhagen Flames either have to commit eventually or rotate now, and it looks like they're going to commit via connector.
Well, it seems to be working, as there will be two frags in their favor immediately. Crucial, Surreal, and Victor, they're all converging on A site. I mean, Crucial's already on ticket. Surreal finds one, though, coming out of Palace. Underneath Palace, effectively. Goes out for the secondary, can't spray it. Truly down to the bone. TMB at 16. Oof, another missed shot by Crucial. This is revealing his position a bit too much. Victor at least holds the line. Back to 2v2. Nodius and Farlig. They have the plant for short, though, and there are two smokes, actually. That's pretty good. Victor's already crossed sight. Good tag onto Farlig, or at least scares him to peeking a little bit. But Nodius, he's gonna be juking this corner. He's gonna be juking the box, or at least should be. No, he's not. Goes wide, gets caught, and it's back to one-on-one. Farlig on stairs already. And now Victor. He has no kit, that's the problem. Even if he clicks now, he's already lost the round, no matter if he gets the frag or not. And of course, in the end, it's not gonna happen. 12-8. And as I've said, it's an eco round for ex-Epsilon and 13 on the board for Copenhagen Flames, almost unavoidably so. And I am starting to get a little bit worried here for the mixed European team. They are running aground, and there's seemingly nothing to put an end to that. And NK at 5 kills as well. Oof, he is having a slow game today. And he's been quiet the entirety of the series, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't noticed him doing too much, you know, too much actually. Just not any amazing clutches, not any amazing sort of multi-frag rounds. He has been rather quiet throughout this series. You know, he's not really become up on my radar because we've been focusing on some of the big players like Victor and his ace clutches, and Farley getting 25 kills, and TMB with his 4Ks. You know, like a lot of the attention being drawn away from him. And the truth is that yeah, he hasn't been fragging as high as we wanted to see him. You know, especially I think it kind of started off over on the second map, Nuke, when everyone from ex-Epsilon was very quiet, and it's kind of the constant that's remained over the course of this series. NK needs to step up, and as to the rest of the ex-Epsilon side, they've got to shut down Farlig most importantly, because look at that kill discrepancy on the T-side line. 25 frags to the top fragger, 14 for the next man down, 12, 11, and 10 after the fact. So if they're able to contain Farlig, then realistically, then Copenhagen Flames on the statistics basis, they shouldn't be able to do much more damage to the ex-Epsilon side. So there is a little bit of a way out, but they've got to try and find it now. 4 rounds behind Copenhagen Flames, a half by into round 21. The Flames, in theory, should get 13.
Yeah.
We've seen these rounds turn around many, many different times, and it is a much important round for ex-Epsilon to secure.
And I mean, also one other option is for them to avoid Farlig altogether, right? To try and, I mean, avoid. Not give him the early peaks, that's one thing, and then whenever you realize there's a play coming, try to avoid the long peaks, right? The long engagements where you know the op will be peeking into. And we see ex-Epsilon obviously committing towards B. They realize they've been duped. They've been sold on a fake Basso with a double Gazillion. Unfortunately, not much help to be given to the defenders. Surreal. Yeah, not really much you can do at all. But as I said, or as you mentioned, if they're able to kind of isolate Farlig, or if they perhaps read well into it, oh, you know, Farlig's on mid, let's try and focus on a push towards A, push towards B, you know, get some response in, get some map control in. Maybe ex-Epsilon can do some magic on their next gun round, because that's something that I have noticed is a bit lacking. Within the last few rounds, the CTs have yet to take any sort of control over the map itself. I mean, mid control is very difficult to achieve, and you pay a high price to do it. You use a lot of utility, you need 2 or 3 players minimum, and it can backfire very easily. Now, for example, if you know you lost mid, you can try for a push towards A. Maybe Palace, maybe Pit, maybe B House. You know, try to get some map. Try to get some map control, some map information. Something to get you an advantage. And right now, Copenhagen Flames, look at this. This is a straight up A execution. And so far, there's going to be 2 men to defend this. And the rotation is going to be very slow through connector already. There's 2 men on B. ex-Epsilon, they need to win this round. That's as simple as that. And this execution is coming in right here, right now.
2 players to hold the defense, all on Spellin and Victor, and unfortunately, Spellin's been cut away from the bomb site. Nice incendiary to stall them for time. The teams are still going to commit to this one, try and spot out Surreal. And the end is forcing him back away from that position, so Spellin now over towards the stairs. Bomb plant coming in. I don't think they've noticed it right now. The smoke's going to go back down towards Connector. Second follow-up on the flashbang, and there goes TMB. Quick frag on Spellin. He's the first man down. Surreal trying to get a trade going. Crucial, so close towards Connector. He can't get that frag. Surreal will be able to take Farlig, though. That's one of the big heavy fraggers. But Nodios chimes right back, steps up now that his team need him here. Surreal dead. The after plant is open. Nodios with another good peek. NK will trade it back. And Crucial trying to look for one man. Smoke onto the bomb. And now it's all left to NK. Got to stick the full 10 seconds. No defuse kit. Spray to force him off. He will get TMB. Try and look for Basso, but now the time is up. And Epsilon will close out the round. 14-8 Copenhagen Flames. Another big victory for them as they stack up. ex-Epsilon only getting that incredible pistol ace from Victor in this half. And so far, other than that, it has all been to the favor of the Danes.
And the worst part of all is it's the end of the line. It's the terminal station. It's going to be 4 FAMASes and an M4 that will be the only thing preventing them from being on a series point or going up against a series point. Copenhagen Flames, I mean, it's a straight up A execution. There was no fakes. There was no flanks. There was nothing special really about the take itself. It's a clean and simple execute. They took it a little bit slower due to the Molotov, as you said, right? It put an end to the push for at least a few seconds. It bought the time for the rotations, but I'm not sure what exactly ex-Epsilon were thinking. NK though, a double on mid, although Basso... Ouch. Well, that's a big ol' oof. I guess we can say a big ol' L. ex-Epsilon, dire trouble ahead. Surreal and Crucial, they've got FAMASes, they've got 2 smokes, and they've got no kits. All they have left here is a bag of dreams and a bag of hope. And they seem both to be leaking quite heavily. It's a big commitment. So Crucial, I mean, it's crucial that he gets a few kills. That's it. That's the core premise here. If he doesn't get at least 1 or 2 kills, well, let's say 2 kills in order to solidify the round. That's it. That's the end.
There's the first, not the second though. And there you go.
Yep.
Surreal locked out of the bomb site. I imagine that these 1v1s will not go that great for him, considering it's an M4 versus AKs and Kriegs. He'll have to get these headshots popped off, great sprays on towards the T-side players. I believe Farlig is in a position to hear that. I'm not 100% certain, but either way, Surreal will creep closer and they'll play passive. The nade will go up his position now. On towards the bomb site, he'll move, looking out for Farlig, now making noise. No kit on him once again, still isolates that one kill. Smoke back to the bomb, but Farlig peeks as soon as he hears that utility coming out. Shutting it down, getting map and match point for Copenhagen Flames. They're 1 round away from gaining control of the series and moving on out of the Swiss system and into the playoffs.
And yeah, that would be a pretty big improvement for them. Last season, excuse me, they were eliminated in the close qualifier. This time they barely made it through, if I can say it like that. You know, they won against Isaac Obors 2-2-1 and against ISJ 2-2-1, so they deserve this spot in the league. But 2-0 opening up the Swiss system, that is a whole different story, and certainly they will be very content with this. And maybe, just maybe, we have a new rise like Tricked, for example, who achieved very similar results in the early seasons of Loot.bet. And, well, right now, ex-Epsilon, they have themselves a good start, at least, taking down one. Unfortunately, Surreal, though, going wide, trying to get into connector, will be caught transitioning through and through. Crucial? Okay, he's going to grab himself one. Farlig needs to be very careful, but balls of steel on Farlig. Pulls out the P250, and sure enough, NK refracts, but that's still far. I mean, you know, you've got an up and you just pull out the P250, just like, yeah, let's go against an M4. Easy. Slap a sticker on it. Victor. Oh, that is a problem. That is a big-ass problem. Back to 2v2, now NK and Spellon. The last two men standing to prevent this loss and a complete and utter defeat.
A chance available, damage being done. Again, they've got to isolate those 1v1s. They weren't able to do that in the 1 vs 2 clutch in the last round. It all comes up with this next frag, and indeed, Spellon will get down Nodio, so it's all to Basso. Bomb plant open for short, should be able to deal with NK, but with Spellon also peeking up, and there's a nade going straight in, takes him, no. 2k for Spellon, and NK can get the defuse, stick all 10 seconds if he needs to, and indeed he will do just that. A 9th on the board for ex-Epsilon. They stay alive for another round. Keeping control, at least, keeping us playing out here against the Copenhagen Flames, but they've still got 6 rounds to go to the comeback of overtime. And still a chunky little comeback to make here for the CT side. But at least, at long last, they have found their second round of the CT half. You know, the only round that they had won thus far was that pistol, and this next defuse. A crucial way to get themselves back into this one. It all comes up to whether they can continue that momentum, though. They cannot afford to make a single mistake. They cannot afford to lose a single round, else it's game over. And series done for ex-Epsilon.
Pretty much so, and we both know that a single round victory means Jack S when you can't make it into consecutive round victories. We've seen this before. Ex-Epsilon, 6 in a row. And the only hope they have is if they get a few early entries. And unfortunately, as I say that, Crucial will be caught right-hand side of the window. For some reason, he decided to linger there instead of falling back while the smoke was still up. A minute. 6 seconds and counting. Ex-Epsilon, dire trouble ahead of them. 2 players on each side. Kind of having a decent crossfire for A, with Pit and CT covered off. But as I say that, Spellon peeks out Ticket as far as I could tell. He dies. Surreal now. If he gets caught... yeah. Well, we both know where this leads, don't we?
Perfect timing from Massilian to get that frag. NK next to fall. Victor last man standing. We'll get one, but that's as far as it goes. TMB closes it out, and a very slow, simple round from Copenhagen Flames gives them the 16-9 and the 2-1 series. A fantastic performance from them to make their way out at 3-0 in the Swiss system. They are moving on to the 18 playoffs. And above the likes of ex-Epsilon, they have to play out at least another round. But we've found the first team through to the bracket here. That's, again, a pretty impressive run from Copenhagen Flames, you know. As you mentioned a little bit earlier, they only managed to go so far as the close qualifiers last season. And this season, they've not only made their way through those qualifiers, but they also made it straight up to the playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a commendable result for them. And I hope to see more and more out of them. They are a great team, what we've been seeing out of them. They still have their own quirks and mistakes they have to fix and work on. But, you know, they've improved massively from the last time we've seen them. and the way they've played, I mean, kudos to them. They deserve the victory. End of story. They've just shown that they're the better team in this kind of fight. And, well, good luck to ex-Epsilon. They still have a lot of, a lot. They still have 2 best-of-3s left ahead of them, so it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the road. But as you said, Copenhagen Flames are first team to reach the playoffs. Definitely congratulations to them. And who would have thought, right? When you have Norderwind, when you have Aristocracy, when you have Havu, when you have Heretics, when you have Smash, SJ, we can keep on naming a few teams that Copenhagen Flames would be the ones to reach the playoffs the first. But in any case, congratulations to the Danes. Commiserations to ex-Epsilon, of course. It's not the end of the world, as I said, and we'll still see them in the future. But that's going to be it for today. The only best-of-3 that was lined up for today. And I believe for tomorrow, it's Heretics versus Smash, aka previously known as No Chance, now known as Smash.